You ever feel like someone's watching you, even when you're alone? I used to laugh at that feeling, until I found the photos. Dozens of them. All of me and my wife, eating, sleeping, changing, taken from inside our own house. That's when I realized we were never alone, not for a single second. When we bought the house, it was supposed to be a fresh start. After 5 years in a cramped apartment, my wife and I were finally ready to settle down. A small town in Pennsylvania, quiet neighborhood, a 2-story fixer-upper with just enough charm to overlook the cracks in the walls and the way the floor creaked when you walked too fast. It wasn't perfect, but it was ours. Or at least, we thought it was. Looking back now, there were signs. We just didn't want to see them. The first month was filled with hope. New paint, new curtains, coffee on the porch in the morning sun. My wife, Emily, loved working on the place. She'd hum to herself while painting. She said she finally felt safe. It breaks me to remember that now, because whatever was in that house, it listened. It learned us. It started small. A toothbrush would go missing. Keys I swear I left on the counter were suddenly in the sink. The bedroom door creaked open in the middle of the night, even though we'd locked it. Old house stuff, I told Emily, trying to reassure her, but we both felt it. The house watched us. Then came the sounds. Late at night, just as we'd drift off, we'd hear scratching. Not from the attic, not from the basement, from inside the walls. It was faint at first, like mice, but it got louder. More deliberate, tapping, like fingernails. One night, I woke to a sound I can still hear in my nightmares. 3 soft knocks, right behind the headboard. I held my breath. Then, a whisper, right next to my ear. "Can you hear me?" I jumped up, heart racing. Emily was frozen in bed, eyes wide. She heard it too. The next morning, we pulled back furniture and found a small vent cover hidden behind the molding. It looked older than the rest of the wall. Dusty, rusted screws. I unscrewed it, shined a flashlight inside. Nothing but darkness and a smell, like old sweat and something rotting. We were shaken, but still, we stayed. You don't just walk away from your first home. God, I wish we had. Soon, things began disappearing. A full sandwich I made was gone from the fridge. Emily's earrings vanished from her nightstand. And worst of all, sometimes we'd wake up and things had moved. Furniture, shoes. Once, we found the living room lamp on the kitchen table. We were being messed with. That's when I bought a camera, just a cheap one, hidden on top of the fridge, pointed at the kitchen and hallway. What I saw changed everything. 2:13 a.m. The pantry door opened slowly, and a man stepped out, pale, thin, sunken eyes, hair matted to his scalp. He wore layers of dirty clothes. His movements were slow, careful. He opened the fridge like he'd done it 100 times, grabbed food, ate with his hands. Then, he looked at the camera, right into the lens, and smiled. We left the house that night. I didn't even grab my wallet. Emily sobbed the whole ride to the hotel. She couldn't stop shaking. She kept saying, "He watched us. He was inside the walls." And she was right. The police didn't believe us. Not really. They checked the attic, basement, crawl spaces. No signs of entry. No man. No fingerprints. They told us we were probably pranked, or that the footage was faked. But I knew better. I went back alone. I studied the floor plan. And that's when I saw it. The hallway on the second floor was longer on the outside than it was on the inside. There was a gap, a space that didn't belong. I found it behind the linen closet, a false panel nailed shut. Behind it was a narrow crawl space, 2 feet wide and filled with trash, food wrappers, torn blankets, and photos, dozens of them. Photos of me and Emily from inside the house, us asleep, eating dinner, kissing in the hallway, even one of Emily in the shower. I felt sick. I wanted to burn the place to the ground. Then I heard a breath behind me. I turned, and there he was, the man, just standing there, skin pale and stretched over bone. His eyes didn't blink. His mouth opened slowly into a grin. No words, just the sound of his fingernails dragging across the wall. I ran. I didn't look back. Police came again. This time they sealed the house. They still never found him. But I know what I saw. And somewhere in the back of my mind, I keep wondering, how long was he there? A few weeks? A few months? Or was he living in those walls before we ever moved in? We sold the house. We moved across the country. But some nights, when the world is quiet and I close my eyes, I swear I still hear it. Knock. Sometimes I whisper back, "Yes, I can hear you."